Welcome to the Old Horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes and one of the great settings in all of college football. Boy, the scarlet and gray already rocking this house. Today, a top 25 matchup on hand, two of college football's premier teams preparing to square off. As we'll see, the number 15 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the fourth-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Buckeyes will boot it away to start the game. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Alabama's offense takes the field for the first time today. And when you take the field with the confidence, the swag that this guy does, David, it just really elevates your confidence in the passing game.
The receivers don't usually lack confidence, and those are the guys that kind of set the tone. And that swagger sets the tone for this offense. And, Jesse, you know he's going to make plays.
And that speed scares defenses, too, because he can take the top off quick. These safeties better get back deep, or else this guy's going to take it to the house.
This crowd, full throat, spreading the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. Trying play action. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12. And this defense, this crowd, this atmosphere, it can rattle an offense in a hurry.
You can shake them up. When you can get to the quarterback and affect them, we all know they become very human. They start seeing things. And with this crowd, they can't hear anything. This place is going absolutely nuts. Nice job rushing the passer, igniting the crowd.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. Gets rid of it. The sure hands, it's Haynes. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. What do? You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. He's got great speed. Return's going to get it up around midfield. He'll be down at the 49-yard line. So the Ohio State Buckeyes offense will get the ball for the first time. As dynamic as this guy is on the outside, Jesse, you know he's going to be cheating that way from his free safety position.
You're right, because as a quarterback, I just can't throw to my guy in the perimeter, right? I got to attack the middle of the field. The problem is you've got one of the best safeties in the nation who likes to lay people out.
Yeah, roaming the middle of the field, reading the quarterback's eyes, and he's got an eye on that receiver out there, too, that's dynamic. So let's see what kind of day he can have.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. They'll run play action. Got a man. It's Henderson. And that defense doesn't allow a cutback, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
Looking for a man. It's Howard. Just missed his man, gave him just a little too much.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
And the Buckeyes will punt it away on 4th down. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. No return possible on this one. It goes out of bounds, and they'll mark it right around the 30-yard line. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Not a lot of daylight. He gets one to the 32.
Now that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
Didn't Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, the give to the back. Got behind those pads and picked up 3 out to the 35. Here comes his home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster.
Nice job in coverage on that 3rd and short. Defensively taking all the throws and options away for the quarterback, and now we're setting up 4th down.
Alabama will bring the punt team on the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Fair catch called for and made. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Here's the handoff. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing?
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. They're bringing heat. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10. Just a great job defensively, making him go through his progressions, and he really didn't have time to do it.
And that's exactly what you do in zone coverage. You drop in your spots, you read the quarterback's eyes, make sure you take away that quick stuff, and a great job rushing the passer and getting the sack.
The Buckeyes will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. So from the shadow of his goalpost, he gets the punt away. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Here comes that Alabama offense. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the page and see this is a brand new opportunity to go get points.
Yeah, and your defense has set you up for the position to get points right away. Now, let's get this offense back rolling again, create some momentum, just get a few first downs, and I'm in scoring position.
Now on 2nd down. They'll run it out of the shotgun. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. To the air, it's Milroe. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down.
Nice job. Nice way to end that play for the QB. He does a really good job scrambling, getting the first down, and getting down. Because defensively, I'm trying to get a lick. Anytime I can hit the quarterback, that is a win.
Alabama comes to the line with 1st and 10. Going with the ground game left. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
You see all this movement in football now, all this stemming. The defensive line, they're sliding right before the snap, creating confusion for the offensive line. Then they're moving back and stunting. Really good job by the defense. Continue to move, continue to stunt, continue to get in the backfield and make this life hard in this run.
It has been all defense all the time in the early going as we wrap up the first quarter, and the stats certainly reflect that. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. It'll be a draw. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
And oftentimes running backs love drop plays because there's less traffic in front of them. The offensive line is selling pass, the quarterback's selling pass. They don't get the handoff until the very last possible second. So the D-line's rushed away upfield, and now it's so much easier for these backs to find their holes and pick their lanes.
Grabbed in the middle, it's Bernard. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. And on that 3rd and short, I don't think he was unhappy to see that zone.
Nope, it was a great job by the offense. Hey, see where the holes in the zone are? Sit down. You only need a little bit of yards on this 3rd down. Get the conversion, move the sticks.
Handoff to the lone back. Picked up maybe a yard. It's down at the 16.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays, but sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well, but if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
From the gun, running back on the move. And it is a good idea to gang tackle. First guy couldn't get him. Second guy finally did.
And another nice gain by the offense. All right, defense, we got to change something up here. They're putting a big drive together, play after play, having a lot of success. How do we break the rhythm? How do we give them something that can create a tackle for a loss or a sack or something to get momentum back on my side?
That pass is incomplete. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
All things considered, he's probably lucky to be back to the line of scrimmage.
Man, if I'm quarterback right now, after this long of a drive down this close, I'm going for a touchdown here, Bob.
And I get that, but I've worn this defense out. Man, I'm going to go for the touchdown right here. And if I miss, I got to go the whole length of the field to score a touchdown.
Here comes the field goal unit. Oh, and the attempt is no good. Kicker couldn't quite get it through, and the scoreboard remains the same.
And that's just a chip shot. That's just a field goal they got to make, guys.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here, Palmer.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Wide receiver shows motion. Back to throw, it's Howard. Quick completion on the out route. And he's down right there. Picked up a few, but still some work to do to get a first down.
Bells and whistles have got to be going off in this quarterback's head now. It's 3rd and long, so you know you're expecting pressure. You got to know where your hot routes are. You got to be able to read the coverage and make sure you get this football out of your hands quickly to not take a sack or worse, turn the football over.
And he just throws it away. That is not what you're looking for on 3rd down. 4th down coming up. The Buckeyes will punt this one away.
In punt formation to kick it away.
He'll bring it back. It's Adams. Really explosive when he gets his hands on the ball, and he found a couple of crevices and made a nice game before being run out of bounds. The give out of the gun. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain.
Really good-looking run. You think about the legacy Alabama has at the running back position. It's ridiculous. Mark Ingram won a Heisman, obviously. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. I'm going to go back to Sean Alexander, who I played against back in the day, too. All these guys had speed. All these guys had vision and quickness. And this guy right here, he has all of those traits himself. Just another big-time talent in the Crimson Tide backfield.
Tackled immediately after the catch. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
They'll try the run. Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down. We'll take a quick break as we have reached the final 2 minutes of the first half. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Fires to the middle. He makes a grab. They will score. Touchdown, Alabama.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And I'll tell you what, heat that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it off with a touchdown toss from the 23. The kickoff team on the field as they'll send this one away. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of their you-know-whats.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now. He's been playing so much. He's not used to this. This offense, they just got to stay on the field. They've got to put a drive together and get some balance going, running and throwing the ball.
Back to pass, it's Howard. Fires to the middle. Wide open downfield. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44.
And what a massive play for the offense. Not only getting the football across the 50, but they've now put themselves in position to steal a few more points here before the half.
It's a 1st down. They'll stop the clock to reset the chains. Offense up tempo. He's going to pass. Got it in the middle. It's Smith.
And that's a great example of this quarterback having intense confidence in his own arm talent. That was not an easy window to throw into, but he had the ability, and he knew it.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Feeling some heat. Grab near the marker. It's Judkins. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. And the Buckeyes will snap it on 1st and 10. Grabbed behind the line, it's Henderson. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game, but I can throw it to them. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of it.
Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route running. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots and zones. You got to get him involved.
Down to the 16-yard line, it's 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Makes the grab, it's Scott. The offense quickly calls timeout to stop the clock. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job for him to do.
Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal.
Nice job by the QB and receiver on this play in a 2-minute situation, knowing to work the boundary, get the first down, and get the ball out of bounds. Great situational awareness.
And this offense will have to feel pretty good about itself if it can tie the game before halftime. 1st and goal. Looking to throw, it's Howard. Fires to the end zone and swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity.
Well, that last incompletion is a good example of why your timing has to be so good as a quarterback, because the windows, they open and they close so quickly in this part of the field.
On 2nd down, they'll try the field goal to get the points before halftime. And he'll boot one from the right hash. He ought to be able to navigate that angle from this distance. He splits the uprights and puts 3 on the board. That late in the half field goal always gives you a little boost going to the locker room, and they'll need to finish off these final few seconds and not allow them to answer. They make the stop on the return, and that is priority 1. You don't want some big return to give up a cheap touchdown on the final play of the half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, who's had a better seat there in Columbus for an entertaining first half than you? And I get it. A lot of coaches will say the difference between winning and losing comes down to stopping big plays and getting big plays. But if you ask me, it's more about how good you are on 3rd down and how efficient you are in keeping drives alive. Those 2 stats can help you break the will of even the best defenses and help you come out on top. Time to put an end to the speculation and find out. They're inside the horseshoe.
Ready to start the second half. Alabama will kick it off. Looking for blockers. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Tight game as we start the 3rd quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal. Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important for this offense to set the tone here early in the second half, to get a nice drive going, build that confidence, and get your defense ready to come on out, get a stop, and change the complexity of this game.
Off the play fake. Caught behind the line. It's Judkins.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. And a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Got it in the middle, it's Smith. They make the stop, but the sweet throwing catch is plenty to give him a first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line.
And this option attack can lull you to sleep sometimes. I mean, just so many things they can do off of it, and you just got to play responsibility, and you got to get them on the ground and make tackles. And that was a good job limiting the damage on that play with a nice tackle.
And now on second down for this offense. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense.
And just a great job by the defense being stout, right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
Coming to the line of scrimmage on third down. Looking downfield, it's Howard. Fires to the wideout. Got his man downfield. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Tate. He's brought down. Solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Second down coming up. Give to the back. The Buckeyes get enough to move the chains.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
Pulled down after a pickup of 4 to the 27.
And it's just simple first down run, showing your physicality, setting your offense up in a good spot.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. From the gun, they'll try the middle. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
This is an offense that really sees their identity as being able to run the football. Nice job there picking up the first down.
This offense hasn't found the end zone yet. Starting to move, it's 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Howard. Throws toward the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. And that one will give them the lead.
Nice job by the quarterback finding the big fella in the end zone. He's going to find a hole. He's going to find an opening. That guy's, you got to trust him, and I'm going to throw it up and let him make a play like he did right there.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. So a scoring drive there of 83 yards. And the scoring play comes on a touchdown pass from 22 yards out. The kickoff team takes the field to boot this one away. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Gets it out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 3.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on first down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good second down.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. Caught in the backfield. It's Haynes. And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on third down. Scanning the field, it's Milroe. He's got him along the sidelines. Beautiful footwork for the first down. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Jukes his way for more. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39.
And as an offensive coordinator, you don't need the perfect play with this guy as your running back. He's going to make the play perfect for you because he makes everybody miss. Spin moves, hurdles, stiff arms, speed, whatever it takes to move the sticks and score touchdowns.
And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. Wants to throw on second down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Haynes. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get into the ground. You want many guys swarming to the football, trying to get that elusive guy on the ground.
Using the quick game. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on third and short.
Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
Yeah, this coaching staff, they're getting this offensive line lathered up and into a rhythm. Now they're letting them drive off the ball on first down on these running plays, and they're getting chunks of yardage.
6-yard pickup on first down leaves him with 2nd and 4. With jet sweep pass. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
And that's a great job executing the drag route. You just bring the big fella across the formation, wait for him to come open. Quarterback does a good job seeing him, finds him in the hole, hits him. Perfect job.
The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
Well, there's a statement by the defensive line. First down play, expecting run, and they and force a tackle for a loss.
They'll try to overcome that last play on 2nd and 15. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. If they tried the field goal from here, it would be 53 yards. They'd love to help the kicker out on third down. Dropping back, it's Milroe trying to get to it. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
On third and long, you know what's coming. That's exactly where you want to get an offense. The passing game has to come out. You go nickel, bring some more speed on the field, and the defensive line gets home and gets the sack to force the fourth down.
Looks as if the Tide will punt it away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. The punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. The sledding has been tough. Scores have peeled off one deep down the left side. It's complete. A huge pickup. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. The Buckeyes want to pick up the tempo. Motion from the offense. He's looking to throw it. With the catch, it's Tate. Excellent job working through the air. They're finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. Good job by the receiver there not to run into coverage, but to find a spot that the quarterback can throw him the ball.
Yeah, on those types of routes, Reese, they say if you're looking, you're booking. So if that's man coverage, the receiver's staring at the quarterback all the way across the field. That time, the receiver didn't give the quarterback his eyes, so they were on the same page. They both knew it was zone, and they executed that perfectly.
Fast motion from the offense. From the red zone, looking for a space. That's caught. It's Tate. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. The give, and tick, 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 tick. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. The clock and the scoreboard on their side as they come to the line, first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on second and goal. Looking for a gap. It's Henderson. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. If they can pay off this third and goal with a touchdown, it might be getting a little... And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
You know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point extends the lead to double figures at 10. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. David, the punter got some work last time. They'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, and it's not something you want to say very often. You don't want the punter out there. This offense needs to get back lathered up and get a little bit more of a rhythm.
Best way to do that, identify where your best players are and just get them the football. Give these guys some touches to kickstart this offense.
Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off. Trying to find his man on first down. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab.
Man, I love those guys that are willing to put their body on the line, and he does it right here, man. Just lays out. That ball's coming in. You can see it from several yards out, making that play, laying out, keeping the football from touching the turf. Great concentration, great effort by the receiver.
To the air, it's Milroe. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing. Let's see if they go back to the air on second down. He's looking to throw. They've got the screen set up. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And I don't like the play call, guys. Screen pass at this point in the game against the defense, playing big zones, prevent, trying to keep the ball in front. It's just not going to work. You've got to take shots offensively.
IndyCar tempo as they head to the line for this third down play. Clock running. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. With the game in hand, the offense choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee.